All right, let's look at build a better world. Self-driving cars. As you can see from this image, it's exactly what it would be like. You wouldn't have to worry about driving. So this one will be fun because there will be so many complaints about it, and people will talk about all the car accidents, even though as the future progresses and you have self-driving cars, you will actually have fewer accidents. And I'll prove it in the sense that I've programmed AI, for instance, to do value investing trading. And the AI is smarter than a human trader, not because it's more advanced or evolved. It's actually because it's focused, right? If you program AI to only drive, it's not thinking about, I need to text my friend back, oh yeah, you know, and picking up its phone. And I've seen people do this. In fact, I got this funny story. I got into a cab one time in LA, and I learned that if you're going to be in LA, you take a cab everywhere because the traffic will tell you it's going to be 40 or 50 minutes. A cab will get you there in like 10. And one of the things he told me is he would just look and see the people who were on their phone and then cut in really fast. And that was his whole tactic. He was like, oh yeah, people are on their phone all the time. So you just look, okay, that guy's on his phone. Okay, here we go. And gets in and then goes here. And it was amazing how he could get anywhere in LA in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh. According to Google Maps, it would take an hour. And that was his whole dog and pony show. Well, the AI is like that, right? It's only focused on driving. It's only focused on one thing. It doesn't have blind spots like humans do, right? It will be able to determine everything around it. So probably the accidents initially with self-driving cars will involve a human driver, you know. It won't be the self-driving car that has the problem. You will occasionally have malfunctions, but if you look at how many accidents there are in a year, and I always forget whether it's like 200 to 400, maybe 500,000, it may not be that much, I can't remember, but it's in that range, which you'll probably see as there's more and more self-driving cars as that begins to lower. There will never be a world in which there is no accidents. I don't believe. Maybe there will, but I find that impossible to believe that self-driving cars or any future will have no accidents. By the way, before there were cars, this is a funny story, but they had, you know, the horse buggy, and everybody complains how long it takes in traffic and yada yada yada, which is another funny complaint. But horses and buggies took forever. So no matter how bad your traffic is, it was far worse back then. Well, they had accidents with buggies, right? Well, when car accidents started happening, everybody complained about how it was so worse with cars, and we needed to go back to the days of buggies. So, I mean, self-driving cars will be great, but you already know there's going to be a bunch of people talking about how it's the worst thing in the world, and it may make auto insurance irrelevant. I mean, it could potentially change some industries. But the great thing about self-driving cars is with AI, since it's more focused, it's not distracted, and it will be more intelligent than human drivers, in the sense that that's all that AI does is just drive. Another example of this is AI is a lot more rational than humans when it comes to traffic. Have you ever been in a traffic jam where they go all the way as far as they can and then cut in really fast, trying to get into that one lane like that LA taxi driver did, which he was really good at, just waiting for that person to get on the phone. Well, in the long run, that actually slows everything down, right? If everybody would just immediately get over, traffic would be smoother when you have one lane get cut off, or if there's construction or whatnot. And so those people constantly pulling in actually slow everyone down. Well, again, because of basically the bottleneck principle, with AI, it would be more rational, and you would have probably fewer traffic incidents when you had to cut off one lane. And so, in general, I think that AI, self-driving cars, I think it's a great future. There's talk of Tesla implementing that, I think, with its Model S. And I expect, and believe me, it will make the world a better place, especially for people like me who hate driving. I mean, if I could get in a car and not have to worry about driving, that would be a great world. Yeah, that would be an awesome world. But there will be so much kicking and screaming about. So don't expect this one to cause a lot of controversy. But in the long run, we will see, I think, a drop-off on accidents as there's fewer human drivers. That being said, initially we may not, because there are still human drivers. But when you think about it, with all these idiot kids on their phones nowadays and texting while driving, which is incredibly dangerous, you actually have less risk with a computer doing that. The computer is not distracted like humans are.